This is ACOFAE. Laura Marie and Jessica Marie proudly present a collection of fandoms and exploration, a podcast. Fair warning, everything the hosts say is explicit, full of spoilers and adult content, and shall not be used against them. They have opinions. Let's try not to drag anyone for expressing themselves and just have fun for an hour. We all deserve it.
This episode contains spoilers from the movie Curse of the Golden Flower, with mentions of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, The Craft, Rise of the Phoenixes, and This Poison Heart. For full list, please see show notes.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to ACOFAE, your weekly deep dive into the fantasy, literature, and fandoms that we love. I'm Laura Marie.
And I'm Jessica Marie.
And today we are discussing the amazing, the opulent, the 2006 Curse of the Golden Flower movie.
Which, I mean, saying it out loud, it doesn't feel 20 years old, and that's what we're doing. We're celebrating the 20th anniversary. But I think there's something to be said in period pieces that they don't feel dated, right? Because you're learning history, you have storytelling. I mean, one of the first things that I told you was just like the detail with the embroidery. But Laura, why don't you share with everybody how this got on our radar, why we're covering it? Because I feel like there's a couple different angles, but I would love to know also like your introduction to this film, because this was the first and second time that I watched this.
Okay, so this movie is right up my alley. This movie, out in 2006, is the same director as let me get it correctly. It's the same director as Hero and House of the Flying Daggers, which are like two of my absolute favorite films. If you've seen Hero and you like that, watch this, because you can absolutely tell it's the same director. And of course, House of the Flying Daggers, and also Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Of course, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon really kicked everything off in 2000. And then this is the last one really that came out in 2006 that are like my foundational kind of films like this. I absolutely love them. These kind of movies are, okay. I had an experience that is not original experience when I watched, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. So that came out in 2000. I saw it with my mom. I saw it in the theater. And if you haven't seen that film, it features like forest flying. I don't know how to describe it really, but like they're flying on the tree. It's amazing. And in the theater, when we saw this the first time, everybody was a little bit like, ha ha, he, ha ha ha, the first time they saw them do this. But like by the middle of the film, everyone was locked in. Absolutely locked in. Like you'd never seen anything like this before. It was like breathtaking. It was like spiritual. It was just beautiful. And that feeling kind of goes into like Hero is all colors. It's amazing. But here, Curse of the Golden Flower, this is like my favorite out of all of these. There's not a lot of martial arts here. This is all Imperial family politics. And it came out in 2006. What I was doing in 2006 had nothing to do with having this movie on my radar. This came to me way later in life. This came to me as a, Jess, you'll appreciate this, as a just walking by and seeing the physical copy, seeing the cover, seeing it was Chow Yun-fat, being like, oh my God, I love him. And being like, you know what? Mine now. I'm going to take this. I'm going to love this. My physical copy, I still have it. I am moving, so it's packed, but my physical copy is packed up. I have it still. It is so gorgeous. This movie, Curse of the Golden Flower, is unlike anything I'd ever seen at the time. And I still struggle to find anything that matches this kind of cinematography within like this closed space.
Yeah. And even now, like I was like thinking of the extras that were on set to build these armies, right? We are in such an age, because we're recording this in 2026, that it makes me really, really sad that that army would probably be CGI. Like that army would have been using AI to duplicate people who got paid to build these big sets. Like these are big sets, and how exciting. I mean, and so much talent, right? Because I mean, I know we're not, I'm jumping into it for a moment without really outlining any of the politics or the characters, but you have people who are like assassin ninjas in the dark of night, and they're so fluid and graceful, and you're just in awe that this is not, these are people who are just so talented. It's beautiful footwork. It's a stylistic dance in a way.
Jessica Marie, have you seen anything like this before?
No. I mean, and I think we were talking before we recorded too, and it's very much something that I would have been shown in my childhood at some point. So I'm surprised that I didn't, but I also, like you, I don't think it was on my radar in 2006. I had other things going on, and this wasn't it. And it's definitely, I think we should start off saying that there is no dubbed English. This is a foreign film. You have to read the subtitles unless you know Mandarin. And then there's a dub in English and Portuguese, or in Spanish and Portuguese, I think. But otherwise, like if you love foreign films, if you love films with subtitles like this is, and you love politics and like, not just politics, it's like you said, it's familial dynamics and in those high political roles. You're kind of like, you're watching. I mean, even if you're not following, you can just kind of, it's beautiful. The set designs are beautiful. The costuming is beautiful. The makeup is graceful. The acting is like, you're just locked in. So even if, like, I was thinking, this is kind of something that I could probably watch with my niece. Like, she can do her own storytelling and not necessarily watch the speed of the subtitles. But I was like, you're locked in, and what's going on? And do they like each other? What's going on here? Are they, what? There's food. And they do the classic, let me zoom in on these minute things that you think are minute, but they're part of the bigger picture. Whether it's the embroidery with the Empress or the Imperial doctor having a whole lineup of different people concocting medicinal teas, 2 months worth, quote, with new ingredients. Like that's all part of the bigger storytelling. And they do the classic zoom in. And then with the embroidery with the chrysanthemums, you're like, they keep going to the chrysanthemums. That's going to mean something. That can't be the same one she's working on.
It's just so wonderful. And just to your point of in the future, if this were made in the future, it would probably all be CGI. Fortunately, this same director is the director of The Great Wall with Matt Damon and Pedro. And let me tell you, that's all CGI. So the shift has happened. It has happened. It's there. And
you know what? It's a shame because there are certain things that are just, CGI and AI is supposed to make our lives better. It makes everything look cheaper. And it's another reason. I mean, I know I'm going off on a tangent a little bit for a moment, but we brought this up in The Craft episode where the reason it still holds true to today, I think it came out in 96 and here we are in 2026. Like it still holds true because they used practical effects. And that is a thing, everybody thinks like, oh, it's going to be easier. Okay, but just because it's easier doesn't mean it's going to be better. But that's its own topic.
And kind of jumping off what you say, Jessica Marie, about like just the scope and how many people there are. That's how this movie opens. We open with all of our servants getting ready. The American version of this starts off in 928 AD in the Tang Dynasty. No, that's just for us white people. That's not real. That's just to give us white people something. It's not. But whatever, it's fine. This is a fantasy movie. And we are here just to let it wash over us because there are 1,000 plots going on. There are plots within plots. There are things going on. There are 1,000 servants getting ready. Clap, 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 clap. Just a routine going on, getting ready to welcome the emperor home. He has been at war for about 3 years or so, and he and Prince Jai are coming home for the first time, and the entire palace is getting ready to welcome him. And that is how we are introduced to a majority of our characters just right away. We have our Empress dressing, and we notice that she is shaking and she is sweating. And Jessica Marie, how do we feel about these costumes? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't really do much research, aka any. But I was just thinking, like, these, if it was up for some sort of Oscar, it should have won. That's for damn sure. I did not watch the Oscars in 2006, but that was the first thing I thought, because it's on that scale. It's on that level. And it's not, I don't know, you can just, it's like when we have this conversation, because we're both like, we love our sparkles, we love our sequins. Sometimes you can tell online and through certain pictures if something just looks like cheap sequins or cheap glitter. And you can tell on screen that this was not cheap. This did not, I mean, there was time, dedication, and sourcing of these materials to make it as opulent and ornate as possible.
The gold hairpins, the hairpins that are coming down off of her. Oh my gosh, her long fingernails.
Yeah, the accessories, the additional pins, just to create this, the luxury that comes with being part of an imperial palace.
Yes. And of course, this is the imperial family. This is the Empress that we're talking about. This is as high as you can get. This is the entire country under your command. Okay. It's important to put all of this in perspective. Now, the thing that I love about this movie is that everything is made clear on multiple rewatches. So the first brother that we're introduced to is you, and he is being kind to his mother. He's putting the pins in. He's telling her, like, the crown prince is going to ask to go to the frontier when dad gets back. Like, isn't that crazy? And of course, our Empress, who has been having an affair with the crown prince for the past 3 years. No, they are not related by blood. No, they are not. It is so important. It is so important to the plot that those two are not related by blood.
Did a couple rewinds I'm like, did I see what I thought I saw? Okay, yeah, I did. I mean, it comes together later, but it's still weird.
It is still incredibly weird.
But then I had to remember, I was like, and I'm not familiar with royalty in that culture at that time. But, you hear about like European cultures, when it came to royalty, everything stayed within the family to make sure the bloodline stayed, pure. I don't know if that was a thing in Imperial China. So that's why I was like, okay, let me take my bias out of it for a second. This could have been part of history, but that didn't take the ick away from it as like a 2026 girly. So.
And it's established right away because the Empress goes to Crown Prince Juan and she is like, so, you want to leave, huh? Like, we've been intimate for 3 years and you just want to like go off. And again, right away, we're like, Crown Prince Juan is like, I am my father's son, first and foremost, and I can't do this anymore. So this is my first opportunity to get out, and I'm going to get out.
And he addresses her like, okay, mother,
and she's mother,
like, let's put the boundary back up. Dad is home because he's been off at war for 3 years, and she's like huffing, and she's like, I'm not your mother. I'm
not your mother. So I am not your mother. It's like, okay. All right.
And that was my realization where it was just like, okay, she's like the second wife or something. Like, she is, I'm not negating her royal status, but she is not by blood his mother. But she's
not his birth
respective
mother.
Figure. Yeah.
Yeah. And Yu sees everything. He is always there watching listening, lurking to everyone. And that is really clear. Like, it's kind of clear on the first watch, but on a rewatch, you're like, oh, you have been plotting from the beginning. From the beginning, he's been plotting because he wanted, his wish to his dad was to be in charge of the Imperial Guards for the chrysanthemum ceremony. He wanted that so that he could take over and launch his coup that way. And he was thwarted by the Emperor because the Emperor knows everything, except he did not know anything about you. He did not know anything about you. But the Emperor put Crown Prince, or Prince Jai in charge of the Imperial Guard. And it is just, I love the sibling dynamics because they are on display from the get-go. And spoiler, when you crashes out at the end, you're just like, oh my God, youngest child much. Like,
so much. I was like, he's being a little bitch. Like, that's honestly what it was. It was like, oh, did mommy not love you enough? Like, no, you were, no, like, you was very much a youngest brother. My oldest brother is having an affair with my mother. My middle brother, Jai, is like, more or less my father's favorite because he's the one who went off to war. And I'm just like little brother here, stuck around, puttering and bored. And woe is me.
Yeah, woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. Now we are introduced to the medicine that the Empress has to take. The Empress has to take medicine every 2 hours, and it is presented to her by the Imperial doctor's daughter, Chan. Now, all of this is important. All of this is important. But the first watch, you're just like trying to take everything in. But the medicine is supposed to cure her, the Empress, of her essentially bitchy disposition because the Emperor hates her.
Yeah, and they try to allegedly, they're saying it's anemia, and like you said, that health issue is why she has a sharp tongue and she's a bitch and all the things that just men hate about women when they're not complacent and subservient. And so I love the part where the Empress, after the Emperor has been back and he goes up, so time to take your medicine again. She's like, been taking it for 10 years. Doesn't look like your medicine's working that well, does it? He's like, shut your mouth. Think you need to take another one, actually.
I mean, they just hate each other. And that, that's kind of explained a little bit later. But, so everyone is awaiting. We're back to our chronological order here. Everybody is waiting for the Emperor to come home. And the Emperor sends his aides and says, actually, everybody in the palace, everybody go back to your beds because the Emperor is not coming tonight.
But you know what? He wanted the whole to do. He wanted everybody running around for him. It was just like a power grab to be like, and because I'm the Emperor, now that y'all are gathered here ready to welcome me, you can go home now. Yep. He, come on. I will give him a lot of credit because they say like he's going to retire to his like, what is it? His official quarters or something. And the Emperor's skill set, because he's battling Jay while he's sitting down. He is giving Jay a run for his money as the Emperor is sitting down doing all this sword work. And you cannot deny what he is capable of as an Emperor. And it also shows that he was probably on the front lines and not necessarily in the back, in the back kind of giving guidance and strategic direction to these armies.
And that armor, huh? That armor, gorgeous, heavy. You have to imagine how heavy that armor is.
Well, they had special people just carrying, just to alleviate some of the weight while they're walking around the palace in that armor. And yes, it's armor for war, but it also makes sense why they would be wearing that armor in the palace because they have to be ready kind of at all times to be attacked.
So, Jess, I know you mentioned this part when we were talking earlier. After Prince Jai and the Emperor have a little standoff, right? And they're fighting a little bit, but Jai loses because the Emperor is terrifying. The Emperor is all consuming. The Emperor is all knowing, right? The Emperor is calm. The Emperor is scary. Like the Emperor is evil. Like, it is very important that we know all of these things about the Emperor. But what the Emperor does do is love his sons. Maybe not you, but he loves his sons. He has it.
Every time you're like,
maybe not you.
You're telling me, but you saying that to me, you're like, the Emperor doesn't love you, Jess.
You, Jess, no. Why you?
I was
Why
like, thanks,
you?
another layer to the daddy issue.
Prince you. But he definitely loves Crown Prince Juan, and he loves Prince Jai. So it is in this exchange, just that you brought up, the Emperor gives some advice to Prince Jai, and Prince Jai goes, "That is etched on my heart, father." What's that advice?
He says, "You can only have what I choose to give you. What I do not give, you must never take. You must never take by force."
Yeah. And that is clarified later, after the rebellion. Prince Jai explains.
I love that you knew I had that quote.
Right. Prince Jai explains himself, but that kind of like helps establish what is going on here, because there is so much going on here. Okay. So the Emperor and Jai go back to the palace from the official inn. Jai cleans up, big bath. Everything is gold and colorful and opulent with 10,000 servants. You are never alone. The walls are paper or carved jade and glass.
That was the part where I always thought was funny. And I know historically this is true, but they would have their servants and they would go, "Okay, you can leave us." Okay. They can easily leave the room and listen through one of the holes in the walls through. Oh yeah, that roll down papyrus shade is really not going to hide anything. But that also makes a lot of sense, because you have the servant. I mean, we're jumping ahead here a little bit for a second, but you have the Emperor who knows about this affair with the son, with his wife and his son. So he knows, he's like, everybody's watching. Everybody knows you aren't being secretive about it, but also, how could you?
Yeah. Well, and that's also like kind of the point too, is like everything is, what the Emperor says is like, he says like, I'm willing to tolerate a lot. I'm willing to tolerate a lot to keep order and law within this family and within this household. Because the Imperial family is the example to the country, and we have to be united and cannot falter. So he's like, I will fucking deal with that nasty shit, but clean up your mess. And it's like, whoa. Okay. But we are not there yet. We are not there yet. Jai goes to his mom. Jai goes to mom, and she is so clear that is her little boy. That is her favorite. Like, that is her baby. And the important thing about this meeting is that Jai sees his mom collapse, like completely collapse, fall down, drop everything, and she's sweating and shaking, and the servants don't know what's going on. And the servants say, like, this has just been happening the past couple of days. We don't know what's going on. This is out of the ordinary. It's never happened before. And, oops, we don't know what's going on. So Jai has that in his head. It's like, okay. And then we go, there's a lot of quickness, but then there's a lot of quiet moments in this movie. It's amazing. But then we cut to the Imperial doctor talking to his daughter Chen about the secret ingredient that is being added into the tea. And we have that conversation, and we go to the Emperor in his steamed chair. Right. I imagine that is so comforting on your joints and stuff, with all the warm tea and the herbs in the bottom of the chair, and then the steam coming up, and then wrapping yourself in the steam.
After war, there has to be something there to be to relax and you loosen the muscles. And who knows what time of year it is? Maybe it's cold and it's coming in from the outside. There's so many layers.
Yeah, it's just and the Imperial doctor is rubbing his back, and he's like, look, my daughter is putting in the Persian black fungus. She's doing it. It's been 10 days. It's happening. We're on track. And the Emperor is like, bet. All right. Awesome. Jess, how did we feel about Prince Jai going to meet his brothers all for the first time in 3 years? So it's Prince Jai, and then Crown Prince Juan, and then Prince Yu, and like Prince Yu is just like, hi, Jai, like we waited up half the night for you, and you got to be with the Emperor like at the inn. Like, what was that about? And Prince Juan is like, yeah, actually though.
I think I think it's twofold. I think it's sibling dynamics and being nosy. It's calling them out on you're the favorite, even though we as the viewer know that the Emperor says like Juan is my favorite. He is my favorite. We also know, again, the viewer against, the siblings don't realize this, the political machinations that the Emperor is having, that he's going to be pitting them against each other. Not necessarily Yu. Yu is clearly the youngest, unforgotten, nobody thinks about him, but like the political strategies at play, because if Juan is the favorite son, why is he setting Jay up for this success? Why is he having Jay be his shadow, setting him up as a successor? They're not like they're doing two different things. Like you have Juan doing the politics and Jay doing. No, there's other layers at play that, but it's also like classic narcissist, parents now, where you're pinning the siblings against each other. And then you try to be like the innocent bystander. But we also know, again, with the rewatch, that the Emperor was always going to have other things at play. He is an emperor for a reason. The people in his palace work for him. They don't work for the sons. They work for him. So he has ears and eyes everywhere. I mean, there's a reason he says, I choose to give you, and what I don't give, you must never take by force. Like, I'm the one who's moving all of these pieces. Don't stray from the path that I am creating for you. And
the Emperor is moving the pieces because he talks to Crown Prince Juan and is like, yo, look, you're my favorite. I love you. I'm going to strip you of the Crown Prince title, though, because you're kind of useless. And I'm going to give it to Prince Jai. Like, is that cool? And Prince Juan is like, I've already asked you to do this like twice. Like, please do this. I am useless. I have no talent. Like, please get this burden off of me. And the Emperor is like, all right, bet. And that just kind of plays back into what he said. Don't take it. Don't take it by force. Only accept what I give. Because he's got plots.
Right. And then you do have Juan, who is just very much like, it's almost like when you tell somebody you want something and now they're going to withhold it from you even more, because he really doesn't want this. He wants to run and fuck off with his girlfriend, Chan, who they've been fucking around behind closed doors. And let's remember, Chan is like the lead. I don't want to say lady's maid, but kind of, because she is the lead person who on the Empress's staff who is serving her these medicinal cocktail teas. So there is an overlap there where he's just like, it's the age old, the burden of being the firstborn, heavy is the head that wears the crown. I don't want this in my life. And usually it's like the second heir is the spare, but Jay kind of wants it. He wants that responsibility and he takes it with pride.
Yeah. And it is just this plot layered within this other plot, because we have to know, because we go back to our medicine making with Chan and her father, the Imperial doctor, and he says, like, look, you are being very flippant about this ingredient that you're adding to the Empress's tea. Let me tell you exactly what it does. 2 grams over some months means insanity for whoever is drinking it. It is Persian black fungus, and we have to do this. If we do not do this, our entire clan will be executed, which ends up happening anyway, spoiler, but not for this. And then also her dad is like, so I hear you are fooling around with the crown prince. And she's like, yeah, I guess. He's like, go more often, go all the time, go to the crown prince and get to fucking, which again, nobody has all of the information, because if he knew, then he would not be promoting that, but he doesn't know. So it's just like, oh my gosh. Okay. But it is from this right? Because Chan, we're getting a little bit more information on Chan. Chan immediately after this delivers the medicine to the Empress. The Empress notices Chan for the first time and says to her that she notices that the Crown Prince is pale. And Chan has to be like, oh shit. Well, are you asking me? Because I don't know the Crown Prince. I am not acquainted. Fuck. And the Empress is like, all right, clock you. And also, I'm not going to finish my medicine. Splash. Fuck you.
Well, I love that part because Chan's trying to be like, oh, are you asking me? Like trying to be all playing dumb, but everybody knows that she's not playing dumb. This is one of the questions that I had. And maybe it's just like, we've watched a lot of political things where one of the things I thought is, why doesn't she have a tester? Why isn't there the tester to be like, oh, see, yes, I'm bringing the tea to you, sips, see, it's fine. And then, but again, this plays into the fact that the husband is involved with the emperor. So that directive would typically come from the emperor. But because he's doing that, he doesn't want anybody to test her tea.
And also, he doubles down by bringing her down to the medicine room and showing her exactly how it's made, how he does all the ingredients, and how there's nothing wrong. He is in charge of all of it. And she is at that point, she is like aware, but not like super aware yet. It is all plots within plots. Okay. So we're meeting with our family in the chrysanthemum like tower the next day. Love this. The flowers are being laid for the festival. So like the courtyard is all yellow. Everybody is like walking up the steps. We're all at the table. It's like a circle within a square, right? With like a circle. It's like circle, square, circle, and we're universe, palace, family, all of this. This is where we get the inklings of what is like really going on. So the emperor is there. To his right is the empress. And then we have Yu, Wan, and Jai all sitting around the table. And because it's the Chrysanthemum Festival, it is the celebration of Crown Prince Wan's birth mother, the anniversary of her death, and like the celebration of like her as his mother. And they're like talking about all of this. And because of the benevolence of the emperor on this day, he will grant wishes, within his power to his family. And Juan wants to go to the frontier. Jai just gets told he's going to be in charge of the Imperial Guard, and Yu wants to be in charge of the Imperial Guard. And when Yu asks his question, he's like, I'm not sure if it's appropriate. The Emperor's like, well, then speak when you think it is. Like, he has no telling.
He's like, if you have to ask, then it probably is.
Yeah, if you have to ask, like, come on, use your fucking brain. It's so funny. Like, I feel like parts of me feel like really bad for Prince Yu, but other parts of me are just like, Anyway,
here's the thing. I don't feel bad because he grew up in royalty, so he should fucking know. Like, it's not like a teacher, can I ask a question? And they're like, there's no stupid questions. Like, that was a stupid question. You grew up in Imperial palace. You fucking know.
Yep. All right. This is where the tension really kind of builds, because this is where everybody, us, the viewer, the emperor, the doctor, Chen, and the empress are kind of all in agreement on what is going on. And that is the emperor is poisoning the empress in broad daylight with accomplices within the palace. So the medicine comes for the empress, and the emperor says, like, I heard you didn't finish it. And he goes, fucking finish it right now. And she says, no, I'm not ill. And the emperor goes, that is your opinion. Oh my God. Oh shit. Okay. Whoa. That is just so fucking cold. Then Prince Yu comes over, begs his mom to take it. Prince Juan comes over, begs his mom to take it. Prince Jai begs his dad, Dad, she doesn't want to take it. Why are you making her? Prince Jai. And the emperor goes, your mother is sick. When someone is sick, they are treated with medicine. What's so fucking weird about this? What is so weird about this? Meanwhile, the Imperial doctor and Chen are both looking, and they're like kind of looking at the Empress. Like they know And we, the viewer, know the Empress suspects and the Emperor's in on it. It is just, and she drinks it. What else can she do?
And she says that later on in like this one-on-one with Jay to be like, I'm stuck. So I am helpless and I know, and I have to feign ignorance, but I know. But she knows because she also knows that there's another layer to this medicinal tea. She finds out about the black fungus who, that it makes you go crazy. So she was already taking this tea for, 10 years, which I already thought it was slightly being poisoned, like that really slow poisoning. And then it was almost as if the Emperor is like, okay, this has been too fucking long. Let's speed it up a little bit. I need to move on with my life. And that's where the black fungus comes into play. Now, she does hire, I don't know what, she hires I don't want to say an assassin either, but somebody who is well-versed in sneaking around, a ninja of sorts. And it was another woman. She's like, can you be my eyes down there in the kitchen? And she is. And she is the one who presents the additional ingredient. And she goes, do you know what this ingredient is? And she gives her the background context. And she goes, well, fuck. Because it's at that point is where she shares this, after this woman leaves, she shares what she has found out with Jay. And she's like, what, I can't deny it because then I know. And then how am I supposed to know? I implicate everybody. But the thing is, by the time she finds this out, she has already been kind of planning her own coup against the Emperor. So she's just kind of like, this whole thing kind of just reinforces her that she's on the right path with the decision that she's making. Meanwhile, we have this assassin person. I say assassin person, more like a ninja. She leaves the Empress's quarters and she's going down the hall and she sees Prince Juan, and Prince Juan recognizes, not recognizes, but sees her too. And he goes, wait, there's a ninja roaming the palace halls. We got to get and they kind of have a standoff against each other until the royal guard come into play, and everybody involved brings this woman to the Emperor.
And that is like this own separate plot, which is just so amazing. So by the time that happens, the Emperor and the Empress have already had their clashing of heads in the meeting of the making of the medicines room. The succession has already been changed. That conversation has already happened. Juan and Chen are already fooling around, and promises are being made to take her with him whenever he gets permission to leave. It is interesting then that when I would say she's a spy, I guess, when the spy is captured by Prince Juan and the rest of the ninjas and taken to the Emperor, when she is, her face is, uncovered and she's presented to the Emperor is shocked. We only see the Emperor have visible surprise a couple times, and this is one of them. He looks at her and he's like, oh my God, loosen her ties. Oh my God, get the fuck out of here. Prince Juan, forget this happened. Don't talk to anybody about this. Get the fuck out of here. Leave. And then, just like you said in the beginning, Jess, it is so clear that they had a relationship because she's hitting him and she gets a smack in on the Emperor. And we already know that the Emperor is unmatched when it comes to physical combat. We saw that in the very beginning with his son, but he let this happen. His guard is completely down by this woman that he is slapped in the face.
Yeah, I was going to say he doesn't try to deflect her either at any point.
Yeah, not at all. He just takes it. He takes it. And it's also though in this moment where you see the benevolence of the emperor, because he goes through all of this, and we see the man, and then we see the emperor at the end, and the man is an evil man because he says I haven't seen you in 25 years. I thought you were dead. He goes, and then you married the doctor. He's upset at her that she married the doctor, and she goes, excuse me.
She's clearly the love of his life and the one that got away. I use in air quotes to him, but she's very much you set my family to prison. I was one of the people you said, I just happened to get out. You thought I was dead this whole time because you sought my family to be dead. That is the only reason. But part of me also knows that he knew that she got out because he had been watching her and tracking her to know that she married the Imperial doctor. So he's like, well, I can't do anything about it now because you also kind of married into this prestige lineage. So like my hands are kind of crossed, but she was never in the same area as like the Kitchens or the doctor. She kind of stayed away at home off the grid. So her being fully in front of him was a shock in that sense, to be like, oh, you're here. And are you here because did my wife bring you here? And she was like, no. Which, girl, we love that. Like, she wasn't gonna put his wife on blast for that. And he's like, but I'm still skeptical because why were you here? You know, but she mums the word for her at all times because even at the Empress, she's like, the Empress will say, like, you have a story to tell. And she goes, I do, but this isn't the time nor the place. Like, we are focusing on you right now.
And the Emperor says to her, after he hears like all of this, the Emperor, the Imperial doctor, like nursed me back to health. Who was I supposed to marry? Anyone but him. Like, and then she sees the shrine that the Emperor still has for her in the back of his room. And then she's moved a little bit, you can tell. And then the Emperor becomes the Emperor and he goes, what I owe you, I will repay in full. Like, don't you worry about it. I got you. And the very next thing is, doctor and family, you're now the governor of a province. Now you're commander of chariots. Your wife is going with you. Your daughter's going with you. Go and enjoy. And then, but it's also, and you're like, wow. But then also the Emperor does this other thing with the doctor where he's like, if I have ever wronged you, please forgive me. Please forgive me. Like, and then he asks about his wife for the first time ever.
Well, this is the whole thing also, where when he is giving that quote unquote, I will gift you and repay you in full, it was so much that expression of like, don't look a gift horse in the mouth, because that's exactly what happens. I'll make you governor. You just have to relocate here. And he's like, I'm going to relocate you to exactly where I know you're going to be. So from the optics, it's like, look at me. I'm such a great emperor. But then he sends his assassins after them. And
we see the contemplation that he goes through. He has the token that has the kill order for the family, and he is contemplating it. He's got it in his hands, and then he throws it to the ninjas, and the ninjas come down from the ceiling and take it. And he has this like look of self-disgust. Like he just like, it's like this thing that has to be done because they know too much, right? Because the doctor is in charge of poisoning his wife and he left the 2 months supply so that he can continue poisoning his wife. But now he's out there and he could fucking talk. There's too many loose ends. So on one hand, I really appreciate the Emperor and his strategic thinking on all of this. Like he's got every loose end tied up. But on the other hand, it's like, damn, the whole clan. But yeah, the whole clan.
He's callous, but he's an emperor.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay, so after the promotion, the Empress, this is one of my favorite scenes with the Empress, is the Empress is feeling confident. She's feeling good. Like Juan's lover has been banished from the palace. Like she, her hair is all good. She's feeling confident. She goes to the Emperor's room and is like, I'm going to light some incense for birth mother. Yeah, I am. And the Emperor is like, what do you want to say, bitch? I know you're here for a reason.
And why are you here? Because yes, you're not. I also think the timing is interesting where his mind is at. He's very paranoid right now. He just saw her for the first time in X amount of time. Now his current wife is at his like first wife's shrine. So he's already like, they have to be in cahoots. This is too coincidental for this overlap to be happening. Meanwhile, the Empress is acting like she doesn't know who this person is. But But she does the whole time.
The whole time. She is fully aware of who that woman was when she hired her, which just, again, plots on plots on plots on plots on plots. I love this. I love this. Next is which we already talked about, is the reveal from the Empress to Jai about the Persian black fungus and what it's doing to her. And this is where she kind of reveals her plot. She says, like, look, I have to drink this. I have to feign ignorance. Nobody knows. And Jai is like, look, I'm not going to stand in rebellion against my dad. Like, I can't do that. Like, a son cannot rise in rebellion against his father. And the Empress is like, I'm not going to make you do anything you don't want to do. I'm not going to. And then the medicine comes and she has to drink it in front of Jai. And Jai is looking at her drinking this, knowing what he knows, having held the ingredient and the corresponding like encyclopedia page. And he's looking at her and he can't stand it. Cause what can he do? So he doubles down and pledges himself. He goes, Mother, I will fight. I will fight for you. And she says, thank God, like, I refuse to submit without a fight. The festival night, I will end this. I will make him abdicate. I'm not going to kill him. I will make you emperor. Like, this is how it's going to go. And Jai is just like, fuck it. All right, man. Because why is he doing this to you? And that's the question, right? Nobody asked that question, but Jai asked that question. Why is he doing this? And she's just like, I don't fucking know, man. This came out of nowhere. He wasn't even here. He was still at war when this happened.
That's so true. I didn't even think about that part because she was still taking the tea even when he wasn't there. So, but I mean, at this point, is it because of the affair with the son? And now he's like, now that he's back and he knew about it? I don't know. And now he's like clean slate?
I don't know. Who can say? It is just so, it's so interesting. It's so interesting. When it comes to Crown Prince Juan and the Empress, there's a lot of ripped clothing, and it's like from their very beginning scene too. And it is doubled down here when the Empress presents Crown Prince Juan his new blue robe with the chrysanthemum embroidered on it. And he takes it and he's like, what does this mean? What are you plotting? What is going on? Tell me.
Well, he says this after he was with Chan over in there, and they were just like having their, their aftercare moments, and they're just chatting, and she's like, yeah, there's chrysanthemums everywhere, and he's like, yeah, but why? And she goes, chrysanthemum festival, duh. He goes, I get that, but what do you mean 10,000? She's like, oh yeah, everybody's just been making them. He goes, 10,000? He was basically like, you dumb bitch. I need 10,000 to go.
Delivered to the general? Why didn't you tell me this?
Yeah, she's like, it's so over her head. But she's also like, I'm just here to do my father and, my father's bidding and to fuck you. Like, she's just like love struck. She doesn't care. She's just here for a good time, not a long time. And so he's like, I gotta go. So at this point though, at the same time, the Chan's mother and father, or the father is like catching them, putting their clothes on, and the mother comes in distraught. She's like, you need to leave. Rightfully so. And she's like, you need to leave. And the husband, Imperial doctor, is like, you can't yell at the crown prince like that. She has nothing. She just keeps yelling, like, leave, go. And at this time, the assassins are coming in. They're ready to kill them at the command of the emperor. And so we have Juan, who's already out. He's out before the ninjas even like get to the Imperial doctor's family. And then everybody's trying to escape. And, Chan is all like, but I love him, daddy, and goes after him too. And I don't remember her name, the Imperial doctor's wife. I guess she's like the first empress, I guess we can say. But she's like, where's our daughter? And he goes, oh, she dipped. She's like, off to save Juan. She's like, you fool. Which I love. And then when they're escaping the ninjas, he's like, you have a secret You haven't shared with me, but it must be really important. I'm going to try to fight them off. You go and save our daughter, which I love that she does.
She does. She really, really does. And meanwhile, Juan is freaking out. When will you make your move? And the Empress is like, how do you know? He goes, don't worry about how I know. She doesn't know how he, come on.
I think she knows how she knows, and she wanted him to say it.
Yeah, say it. But they have this huge fight here. She goes, I'll make my move in the festival. And then and Juan starts freaking out. And she's like, why are you freaking out? This has nothing to do with you. And he's like, it has everything to do with me because the entire country is going to think that I planned this because I'm the crown prince. And she was like, so what? Like, go away. Who cares? And he loses it. He loses his mind here. He starts screaming at her. He goes, you're a lunatic. I hope you have to take that medicine until you die. All you ever wanted me to do is die. And she's like, actually, yeah, I do want you to die. And he's like, oh, really? All right. Whoa.
I don't know if it's part of her political ploy or if there's a layer of lover scorned in this. But at the same time, she knows who Chan's mother is, and she knows who the first Empress is, and she knows everything. So is it really lover scorned, or is she also kind of like, hello? Family tree, familial relations that you don't know. You shouldn't be fucking her anyway.
Of course, though, Crown Prince Juan has no talents, as he told us earlier, and survives this wound. Will survive this wound.
He can't even kill himself
correctly. And the Empress comes to him as he's in his recovery bed, and he is grasping at her hands, and he's like, stop this. You have to stop this. You have to stop this. Like, it's essentially like, it's not going to work. You have to stop this. And she's like, I know I should, but I'm not going to. Your dad's coming. Get your shit together. And as she leaves, who's watching her? That'd be you. You is watching. He's listening. This is, I think, the third or fourth time that he has been stalking her in the hallways. Yeah. And he's getting, I don't know if you noticed this, but as it goes on, he gets more and more menacing. His face is like,
no,
it's scary. So now we have the confrontation between Crown Prince Juan and the Emperor. And the Emperor is so scary and does not hesitate. He goes, I know about the secret between the two of you, and I've known for a long time. And Juan's face is like pure white, first of all.
He's laying in bed terrified.
He's like shaking and sweating and looking at him like he expects his dad to like strangle him. It is, I would say it's pitiful, but he's so completely terrified that I feel bad for him.
I haven't felt bad for anybody in this whole story. Maybe except for Jay and the Empress Phoenix.
I feel bad for the Empress for sure. But the Emperor during this conversation is like, look, I know it's not your fault. I know that she seduced you. But why didn't you ever think about me? I'm your dad. And this is the scene that really stuck out to me during this most recent rewatch, because this is where the Emperor uses his hands to comfort Crown Prince Juan. He wipes at his tears. He like cups and comforts his face with both like his palms and with the back of his hand. And he looks at him with like pure love. Like that is his favorite son from the love of his life. Like that's his boy. And that moment is not shown on screen, but we can assume that after that show of kindness, Juan just told everything to the Emperor, because later on the Emperor is like, he told me everything. And the Emperor is like, I knew he would. Big pussy.
Yeah, she did. She knew Jay wouldn't. She knew Juan would. She was very intentional. I mean, she knew a lot of things. I just don't think she expected to lose, even knowing everything.
Yeah, I also don't think she expected to lose. All right, this is the beginning of the end. This is the presentation of the family at the berry ceremony. This is where, from here on out, it all goes down south fast. Everything happens. Okay, so the family is here, and they are getting berries to honor Crown Prince Juan's birth mother. He is bandaged up, bleeding through his bandages, slumped over, pale as hell.
I shouldn't be laughing, because even then when they're standing up, he has an assistant standing him up, and then when they have to kneel, he has to, it's so funny.
I mean, he's fucking out of it, man, but he's there, he's getting his berries. He promises his dad that he will always honor his birth mother. It's very important. This is where the emperor blesses all of his sons. He touches their faces, all of these things, smiles at them. The empress, during this, is not there. She is shaking like uncontrollably and is having a very difficult time dressing. Jai eventually has to go and like get her and is like, Mom, what is going on with Juan? And the emperor is like, Juan knows. And Jai's like, is he gonna tell? And she's like, probably, whatever. And Jai's like, all right, I understand. I get it. And they have a very tender, like, goodbye moment there where they're both like, all right, we know what's gonna happen. She is wearing, the Empress, an enormous crown and like this robe. It is just absolutely gorgeous. She goes to the ceremony. They have this, elaborate setup. They do this joint calligraphy between her and the emperor, which is menacing. And it's so menacing. It's like not a menacing act, but the way it just feels so tension wrought.
At first I didn't know if it was because of the shakes, and he didn't want to be embarrassed in front of other people. And I say that because it comes off that way, and it's supposed to be this joint endeavor, but it feels very controlling still.
Yeah, it just, oh gosh. And it is right after this that everything starts happening, right? Jai is out there and he is replacing the Imperial army with him and his people. Chan has arrived to a completely empty palace, and she is like running towards the palace, and she's intercepted by the guards. Her mom is there, fights off too. And then the Empress's eunuch comes with their guards and ushers them through the palace directly to the presentation room. And then the call is like, the Imperial doctor's wife and daughter are here to see the Emperor and Empress. And everyone is like, the fuck? And the Empress is like, bring them in. Let's do this. And the Emperor is like, what? All right. Whatever.
And he sees them, and because he's already sent his assassins, he's very much like, oh, you defeated death again.
And she starts screaming at him. She's like, here we are alive. How dare you come for us in the middle of the night? Don't you have any honor? And the Emperor is like, you shouldn't have worked with the Empress. That's what you get. You betrayed the Emperor. You betrayed me. You worked with my evil wife. You all deserve to die. Fuck you. And she is like, I don't know the Empress. Girl to the end. I've never met her before. I don't know.
Till the end.
Yeah. And then Prince Juan is looking around. Prince Juan and you are there. Jai is with the army. Prince Juan is like, who the fuck is this? Who is this? And the Empress is eating this up. The Empress is like, I'll tell you who she is. You want to know?
And everybody's like, don't, because at this point, everybody knows, because you have the Imperial doctor's wife who knows everything. You have Chan, who's confused, but the Emperor knows, the Empress knows. Like, you have three people who know, and they're like, this could get really bad really quickly. And And it does, but it's more like the only people you really upset are the son and the daughter, I feel, but it's like, and then he's like, I wish you never told me. So you can keep fucking your sister?
I do feel like the Emperor did not know that Crown Prince Juan and Chan were fucking. I do feel like he didn't have that specific connection, because when they start freaking out, he's like, his face is like, what? Why are you freaking out? What is this? What?
His eyes, he's like looking at the Empress that. And he's like, I do see that. And, you know, maybe that was my assumption because we knew that the internal people, like his staff, we knew that they were telling the Empress. So that was my assumption, that he kind of knew about them. So you're right. I think I was just making assumptions.
Yeah, I really don't think he knew, because he's looking at them like, what? Because Crown Prince Juan starts freaking out, to exactly like you said, just to his mom, like, how did you know this? Why didn't you tell us? Like, oh my God. And then it dawns on him that he's been fucking his sister, and he turns and looks at Chan, and Chan has like her hands to her head.
Chan is like, her mind is blown.
Yeah.
She processed it and is in like a frozen state with what she knows, which is so interesting, because because us as the viewer have put this connection together maybe earlier, but definitely solidified by here. And you're just watching it. You're watching it in live time, and you're just like, oh my gosh. And then when you watch it a second time, you see all these intimate moments where they're like being cuddly and laughing and like being playful. And you're watching this and knowing that they're blood related. This isn't a step, like, again, everybody has their own opinions with step siblings. But this is still a sibling dynamic, like blood siblings.
So Chan, obviously freaking out, runs out of the room screaming, blind, doesn't know where she's going, screaming, and her mom follows her. They end up being killed by the king's assassins. They just like lose track, right? Like, this is taking over their lives. Everything is going to shit. And Chan is killed instantly. Mom fights off in a little bit of rage, but she also dies. And that's the end of their story. And I feel so bad for them. But everything is about to go down. Everything is about to go down. It's about to go down right now. So the Golden Army starts to arrive. The Empress makes her move. Off goes the crown. Off goes the robe. You know, she starts confronting the Emperor. They're starting to have a moment. And then, out of nowhere, Prince Yu stabs Crown Prince Juan right through the heart and starts his crash out. The first time I saw this, I was flabbergasted. I was shocked. I did not see it coming. I was so locked in to what the Empress was going to do that this took me completely by surprise. And I love watching it over and over and over again, because he's the youngest child. He's the youngest child, and his crash out here starts off with murdering his oldest brother and ends with, I hate you. I hate all of you. You never liked me. You never loved me. You don't want me in this family. It's like, well, yeah, obviously not now.
I know. Like, I could have defended it, but now I don't want to.
Yeah, it's just like, and it is so fitting then that, having murdered the Emperor's favorite son in cold blood in front of his face, that the Emperor then beats you to death with his own belt. Like, that is
manically.
Yeah, like he
became manic. It's laughing, and then he slows down because he's losing energy, because he's been doing it for so long. And the other crazy part is when he is whipping him, he realizes there's a layer of armor, so he has to go harder. And he doesn't even remove the armor. He whips him with the metal belt with the armor on, so it's the armor that digs into his skin during the whipping. It's layer, quite literally and figuratively layers.
And the last shot we have of Prince Yu is it appears to the viewer that he was on his belly trying to crawl away from the emperor, and his back is totally, and he's dead. He's dead as fuck. The emperor has murdered his youngest child for murdering his oldest favorite child. Now, while this is happening, his middle child is in the middle of a coup, and his middle child, this is just, it is so hard to watch because you are rooting for the Golden Army. You are rooting for Prince Jai. You're like, they can overcome this. The spears are together. He's on top of the wall. Like, he'll bring everybody out. But then the siege wall comes together and it's just a slow crush. And it is so hard to watch because you're like, all right, this is going to be it. Like, this is what we are focusing on. This is the main plot. Like, this is what we're going to do. No, really? Okay.
Yeah, I was even when it felt like they were defeated, I was like, but I think they have a couple people standing. This is great. And it was the siege wall. I was like, oh. And then there was like a 1% hope where I was like, maybe. And then when they launched their javelins and then everybody put behind the siege wall, put their shields up where everything was deflected. I mean, it was just cased in armor the way the shields were. It was so impenetrable that there wasn't, they lost. This sucks. Because then even when they lose, literally with one person left, and it was like actually 3, it was Jai and like 3 others who they behead at the end. The efficiency in which the Imperial army recovers up. Okay, let's sweep it up. Let's replace everything. Let's make it look like nothing happened here. Let's roll out another red carpet. Nothing to see because we had our shit on lock. Because we knew. We were ready. We were planned. Do you think these siege towers just magically appear? No, they were put there. They were ready. So we knew what was going on. This is the emperor. The emperor knows. So Jai is captured and he is brought to the palace. The emperor and empress are standing there watching these executions. He executes her entire household and all of the remaining army men. There are not that many. The emperor is like, Juan told me everything. And emperor is like, that bitch, I knew. And this is the end. They climb to the top of the chrysanthemum tower, right? And we watch a little montage of the cleaning and the washing of the courtyard, the relaying of the flowers, the fireworks going off, the time men. I love these time men. Is the hour of the rat, right? The festival begins. I love them. And there's a feast laid on the table. Everyone takes their places. And the emperor, calm as can be, starts eating, right? He's like, I had a plan. And I told you, don't take what I don't give you. You rebelled. What is the punishment for rebelling? And it's like being drawn and quartered by horses. And the emperor is like, that sucks, right, Jai? All right. And then as this is happening, the medicine for the Empress is coming. It's still coming, right? It's still coming. Nothing happened. It's still coming. And the Empress is like, Father will forgive you, Jai. Father will forgive you if you personally serve your mother the medicine from now until the end. You have to do that, and I will forgive you for this rebellion. And Jai is like, first of all, I didn't rebel for the crown. I want to be so clear about that. I rebelled for my mother. I did this only for my mother. Let's be so fucking clear on this. And then I really appreciate the hesitation, the tension, the drama it really builds. Because it looks to us like Jai is contemplating his father's deal. Like, all right, I will live and I'll serve my mom the medicine, but like, what can I do? You know, like, what can I do? But in actuality, he's plotting how he can get his hands on a sword to kill himself. Which, these guys are so quick to kill themselves in this movie. But I do respect Jai. I mean, he is his mother's son. Like, he is a mama's, and not, like, he is a mama's boy. He loves her. And he's very much like, once he learns the truth and what's right, he ultimately he doesn't want to be involved with the politics. He wants to be involved with what's right. And when the Emperor is also saying, like, what did I tell you? You do what and then he also reveals his plan. He goes, if you listen to me like you were supposed to, Juan was going to have it, and then it was going to be reassigned to you anyway. But you were not privy to all of that information. We would not be, and in a way, again, gaslighting narcissists, in a way, we would not be here if you listened to me. If you listened to me, everything would have been fine. You would still have your brothers. Your mother would still be here. You would be overseeing everything. You could have taken control of the medicinal teas. But I don't think that Jay killed himself to be like, oh, I can't deal with this. I don't think it was that. I think it was like, you are no longer going to control me. I'm going to control this narrative. And if you're giving me two choices, I'm creating my third.
Exactly. Jai kneels in front of his mom and he's like, your son has failed you. Like, I have failed you. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. And he grabs the sword. He slits his own throat. And the Emperor this is one of his like surprise moments. He doesn't look up, but he pauses his eating. He's eating like dumplings. He pauses his eating and like processes. It's just like, God fucking.
It was very much well, that didn't go according to plan.
Shit. And the medicine still needs to be drank by the Empress, and she's still waiting there. And Jai's blood has splashed into the cup, and the Empress, in a fit of rage and helplessness, screams and throws the cup, and the cup flies across our screen, and the liquid is flowing across our screen, and it lands in the center of our square circle, and starts rotting the center and dissolving the center of the table in the top of the chrysanthemum tower in the Imperial family. And it's just black, and it starts to like spread a little bit. And that's the end of the movie. That's it. That's how it ends.
Do you have I know you do. Like, one, what's your favorite scene? Two, does that favorite scene change each watch that you've had?
Yes. Yes, I have a favorite scene. Yes, it changes every time I watch it, because every time I watch it, I focus on a different character. Every time I watch it, I focus on someone new. So I focus specifically on Prince Yu this time, because I knew that he was like the secret villain that is like kind of plotting the whole time. And I wanted to make sure I was clear on when his plot started. And it started, before the Emperor came home, because he was ready for his wish to have the guards. And sometimes I focus on the doctor, sometimes on the daughter, sometimes on Juan. I just like to see there are so many moving pieces. I just like to see how they interact. But I really love Chinese political dramas. That is not anything new. If you're a longtime listener, you know that Rise of the Phoenix is my shit. And it's very similar to this. So I just love this so much. So I would say my favorite scenes are the scenes with the Empress with her hair down, which is, there's not a lot of them, but when we do see them, something is like happening in like a secret kind of way. And also when she is wearing darker colors, which is not very often. A lot of the times she is all in gold, but there are times where she is in black or like a darker kind of like purpley color. And I like those scenes with her.
Yeah, they're great. I mean, there's not a scene that's bad. Like, everything in this is so fun. And I wish it was like, I've never heard this film talked about. You're the only one I've never heard it discussed. You're the only one that like has put it on my radar. Again, I don't know if this is just because it's a foreign film, and sometimes like foreign films really aren't part of mainstream media and discussions. I feel like the last one might have been Parasite from like 2019. Or like that was the award season, maybe. Like that was the one that I remember was really in mainstream. And then Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, that was originally a foreign film that was later remade and Americanized. The original was better, of course, because there was less censorship and accuracy to the book. But it's wonderful. It's great. I feel like foreign films, I don't want to say they're few and far between, because obviously we are an international world. It's just how they make it over to America is, I think that's kind of the in-between of like when we get it. Because like you said, you got it, you were just walking by and you're like, oh, that looks like it's my shit. And you purchased it, and it was. And I think that's also a testament to you knowing the things that you like and being familiar with filmmakers' names, because there are things, you have filmmakers who are like, I haven't even heard of this movie, but I know this director or I know this person, whatever they touch, I want in. And this was also, again, if this was made in 2006, the media and how content was delivered to us was much different then than it is now.
All right, this is the last thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to stand on my soapbox. All right. We know, this is a fact. We know that there's a literacy crisis. We know this. I think that one of the consequences of this literacy crisis is foreign films. And I think foreign films and the literacy crisis are completely connected. Foreign films and their popularity in America are completely connected to the literacy crisis, because what do you have to do? You cannot look at your phone. You have got to look at the screen at all times and read. Not only do you have to read, but you also have to process what's going on in the scene and take in clues and context and location and settings, not just the dialogue that is being printed to you on screen. Okay, you dub it. Okay, fine. Here's the thing about dubbing it. Is it all right? Yeah, sure. But you're going to lose. You're going to lose a little bit of it. You're going to lose. Some of the jokes don't translate. Some of the wit doesn't translate. Some of the vibes don't translate. So I do feel that also, I mean, there's a lot of other races. That's all. I'm specifically talking about the literacy crisis. Having the attention span and the patience to spend, this is about 2 hours of your time reading a screen, is not something that I feel kids nowadays it's something that they enjoy. And if they do enjoy it, that's wonderful. But if it is happening and they don't enjoy it, it's probably in a language learning situation, or they're probably being forced to do it. So I think that there is some sort of connection here that is not being discussed and it's not being talked about. And I really love Chinese foreign films. I really love Japanese films, and I really, really love Bollywood. So I also use captions almost 100% of the time.
I know. I was going to say, and I didn't know if it was going to be a bold statement for me to kind of to say that too. And then you said it. I was like, okay, good. We're on the same page, because of course we are. Because you know me, I already have hearing issues, so I'm already familiar with looking at captions almost at all times. I actually found some close movie theaters recently that have open captions on their films, which is like, it's just like this inclusivity about it, right? But again, like I think even recently on socials, people have been writing on postcards, some different vocabulary, different sentences, and people are saying like going up, it's just like those after bar questions and like, oh, read this postcard. And the way people read aloud is so stilted, where you can't even have the conversation. I mean, me personally, I found myself pausing the video so I could read the cards out loud. Laura, I know I've sent some of them to you, but I think it's like, we all had anxiety in class, most of us when we were taught growing up in the classroom, saying like, okay, let me practice my paragraph that I have to read out loud. And seeing the literary crisis right now, where people can't, grown people can't read full sentences in a cohesive manner. I'm not hating the reading aloud in class anymore. And if anything, I mean, read aloud to yourself, practice, because it is, even sometimes we're so used to reading, whether it's audio or traditional or however you're reading it in your head is so different than reading it out loud. And you'll have audiobook narrators. They'll tell you the same thing. If you want to know if that's something that you want to go into, put yourself in a corner for 1 hour. Read everything correctly in the order without stopping for 1 hour. Practice for yourself, because again, if you're having the captions on the screen in a foreign film, if you're not keeping pace, you're on to the next scene already. And this is us. I mean, I said even in the opening scene where she was like, we've been intimate for 3 years. I said I had to rewind that, and I wanted to make sure I read that the way I thought again. If you're not reading at a certain speed, you're probably not going to have that freedom to read, go to a foreign film in public either. So it's all skills that we can work together, and you could always improve on. But you have to want to improve on them. It's kind of like we were talking about with This Poison Heart, where Briseis was like, had a yearning and a hunger to learn more about things. And I feel like that skill is also, on the wayside of things.
I agree on all points.
But with that being said, thank you so much, Laura Marie. Feel free to follow us on Instagram. We're at ACOFAE Podcast. We're also both on TikTok, ACOFAE Laura and ACOFAE Jessica. Please feel free to rate us 5 stars on all of your listening platforms. We'd so greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Bye.